Nothing beats a hot summer day like a cool treat from the kitchen. Let me share with you 5 summer snacks that are perfect for kids, made with real ingredients, and are super quick and easy to put together. These all use basic pantry staples, and I promise you they are delicious. Here we go.
3 of my kids aren't home right now, and the youngest is asleep, so it is time that I make some treats for them to have when they get home and wake up. The recipes that I'm making are all perfect for summer. They are light and refreshing. A lot of them are nice and cold, so it's a good treat to have when you're really hot outside. I want recipes that are quick to make, that don't take a lot of ingredients, that use natural ingredients mostly. I can, sneak in some sugar here and there. So my goal for today is to get all of these recipes done, or as many as I can before the baby wakes up, to use as few bowls and dishes that I need because my dishwasher broke and it's not getting fixed for a little while. And then not to get my dress dirty because I decided to wear white today. First thing I want to make actually are some brown butter cookies, and this recipe is actually for me. I love chocolate chip cookies, and I don't usually make desserts for myself, but I really do love sweet treats. So I'm going to start with this because I need to brown the butter, and that takes a little while because then the butter needs to cool off. Browning butter is not very difficult. It just takes patience and a little bit of time. So this is probably one of the longer recipes that I'll make because of this extra step. I'm going to weigh out all my ingredients. I use a kitchen scale. It's just so much easier than getting a bunch of dishes dirty that I will then have to wash by hand. A little frozen, it's not too bad. I'm just gonna put this on medium-low on the stove and let it slowly brown. It will take about, 5 to 7 minutes. I love trying new recipes. My kids always want something new to eat. Kids are notorious for, 1 week they love a certain snack and the next it's, I don't want anything to do with it. I want to make some popsicles. I had a good idea, I think. I have these popsicle molds that I bought a while ago, and I think they're the perfect size to use. I found a bag of frozen strawberries in my freezer, so that's what I'm gonna use for these popsicles. So it's pretty simple. Fruit, I'm gonna add some local honey. This one is from Wild Flowers. I have another one that's buckwheat honey, and that's actually my favorite type of honey. This one's a little lighter and sweeter, and I find the buckwheat honey has more of like an earthy, richer flavor. But I opened this one first, so we'll use this one up. So I put the honey in. We have to constantly stir. This is bubbling just a bit too much, so I'm going to turn down the temperature. I'm just going to blend this. I'm using an immersion blender. I just want to make it so it's smooth. I actually thought, what if I do 1 jar of strawberries, 1 jar of blueberries, and then I can make the popsicles half blue and then half red. Try both of them. I need a bit more sweetness to them. Okay, that should be perfect. Here comes the hard part. I'm going to pour the strawberry first and then the blueberry. Okay, next, instead of pouring this in, I think I'm going to carefully spoon it in. Last step is to put all of the little sticks in the popsicles. I seem to have lost 2 sticks, so I'm going to use these 2 forks that I found. My kids won't care. I will take this, I will very carefully put it on a tray, and I'm going to put it in the freezer downstairs, I think, just because I don't have a lot of room in the freezer up here. With the leftovers, I have probably enough to make almost another batch. I'm going to keep this in the fridge, and once my kids finish these, I will make another batch, or who knows, they may just end up drinking it as juice. This is what the butter is now looking like, and if I can get the foamy parts to sort of move away. So it's really golden and it's full of foam. I'm going to take this off the burner and I'm just going to let it sit here and cool for probably about an hour. I'll probably do the cookies last. Okay, not gonna lie, I just drank the rest of the strawberry drink. It was really good. But the next thing I want to make is Chia Seed Pudding. So this comes together really quick, and I'm going to reuse the mason jar, and I'm going to reuse the immersion blender and the same strawberries that I had out before. Whoops. So I love Chia Seed Pudding because it gives me a good amount of protein, a good amount of fiber, and a good amount of fat all in one drink, or I don't know, it's kind of like a beverage, but not really. It's a little thicker, more like a yogurt. Call it what you want. But some of my kids really enjoy this, so I make it and I give it to them for breakfast. It's not too high in sugar, and it has like everything that they need so that they won't be starving after, and so that they'll have energy to start the day. So I put about 3/4 cup of strawberries. I'm gonna add about, I'm gonna say, a cup of yogurt. I don't really measure everything. This is something that is very flexible. You don't need to have super accurate measurements. You can really go with the consistency that you want. Some people like it thicker, some like it thinner. Depending on what ingredients I have on hand, I also change how it's made. As long as it's sweet enough and the chia seeds have time to sit and absorb the liquid, then it's delicious. And this is just plain yogurt. It's not sweetened at all. I normally buy plain yogurt and then I'll add whatever sweetener I want. That way I can control the amount of sugar in it. Next, I'm gonna put milk. I'll use whole milk. I don't know who left that tiny drop of milk in there. My husband. I filled it up pretty full, but I also want to leave room for the chia seeds to absorb the liquid and they'll expand. So I want to leave some space. I almost forgot to add the chia seeds. That wouldn't have been good. I'm adding a fair amount. That's probably about 3 tablespoons. And then we immersion blend. I forgot to add some sort of sweetener to it. Let's add some maple syrup. I'm gonna try it just to make sure that it's sweet enough. Yeah. It needs more maple syrup. That's much better. I will let this sit overnight in the fridge, and tomorrow morning it'll be a lot thicker and creamier, and my daughters will probably have this for breakfast. The next thing I'm going to make are some Rice Krispie squares. This is something I've actually never made before because I don't really buy marshmallows or any cereal, but I have marshmallows left over from a vacation we took, a little beach trip, and we made some s'mores. You know, sometimes you just have to indulge in those sweet treats that you wouldn't normally have. And I want to get those marshmallows out of my house because the kids keep seeing them and keep asking for them. My husband loves Rice Krispie squares, so I figured let's make some homemade and at least I kind of know what's going in them. So I'm going to try to do this real quick. I'm worried that the baby's going to wake up. So I need to warm this and add some butter, add the marshmallows. I don't even know if I have the right quantity. This is what I have. We're gonna go with it. These are, looks like medium-sized ones, and these are jumbo. And honestly, if it makes less, that's probably best. I know this recipe is super flexible too. As long as you have the right ratio of Rice Krispies to the marshmallows, then it's fine. And I mean butter, who doesn't like a bit of extra butter? All the marshmallows that I have, they're stuck in the bag. I think I should keep the heat not too high, medium low. And I just want to get this coated in butter. This stuff is so good. I'm gonna keep stirring this. Oh, I should add some salt too. Where's my salt? It's just a nice contrast to like the sweetness of the marshmallows. I don't think I've ever bought cereal while living in this house, but I don't know, my kids are gone and I thought, why not? Wait, the next thing I want to make are chocolate oatmeal bars. It's always such a challenge to get to the oatmeal. I think I have more oatmeal downstairs, but I'm not sure. So I'm gonna make do. Just gonna use it all. I need to put parchment paper down. Okay, I think I'm gonna put the Rice Krispies in this dish. Looks like a cake pan. And I need to cut parchment paper to size. I was really rushing here because the marshmallows melted way quicker than I expected, and I really didn't want that sugar to burn. Perfect, fits nicely. I do not want this to cook anymore or it's gonna burn. It's like nicely browning, which is delicious. It means it's like caramelizing. I had not anticipated how quickly the marshmallows would cool and set. I start stirring vigorously and realizing how I need to get this transferred into the pan. I'll make sure I have everything ready in advance next time. Mixed. This is so sticky.
I definitely should have used a larger spoon here. I did find using a silicone spatula was easier because the marshmallow mixture would not stick to it as much.
Probably should have grabbed an oven mitt earlier.
While transferring over all of this to the pan, I could not resist trying it a couple times. It was gooey and crunchy and salty all at the same time.
Okay, I'm just gonna wet my fingers. I'm just gonna press it down. I'm gonna try to make it into a square. This dish is not the right size, but I think it looks good. There it is. I think that's a perfect quantity for us. I am glad I did not make this whole tray. I'm gonna pop this in the fridge and we'll probably have it after dinner. Okay, back to these bars that I'm making. I have an idea. I have half a bag of Rice Krispies left and I don't really want them. I'm thinking I can do like some sort of layered bar here. I'm gonna add some honey. I need to add the honey. It's gonna, ooh, that was a lot. It's gonna bind it. The next thing I'll add is lard in this dish. These are organic hemp hearts. I get these at Costco. Nice big handful. Okay, this looks good. I'm gonna add a touch of salt just to balance the sweetness. I like using lard for this because I find it solidifies a lot better, and then it like doesn't fall apart or crumble when I go to cut the bars. So for these, really good. I'm gonna put it in here and I'm gonna kind of press it in. Always wet your hands first before you touch something that's especially with sugar on it. It will prevent it from sticking. Next layer. Some peanut butter. That's so good. Okay, I'm gonna put it down as the next layer. The last thing I want to do is melt some chocolate and drizzle that on top.
I just quickly melted some chocolate chips, and I probably should have made more of a chocolate ganache because it would have spread a lot easier, where I would have added milk to it or heavy cream, but I didn't do that. It turned out well anyways.
Okay, we have one thing left to make, and we need to work quick because the baby's awake and my butter is not as melted anymore. We're just gonna keep going with it. That was white sugar, now let's add some brown sugar. There's 145 grams. I should have made a bigger hole. Let's whisk this together. Use this very small spatula because that's what I have. Add 1 egg. The other day, my kids were playing around here and they left one of these lids to my jars just hanging kind of against the cupboard here, and I opened it and it just fell and shattered. So now I only have one lid. 215 grams. Perfect. 3/4 teaspoon. It's a weird amount. 1, 2, 3. I'm just gonna kind of mix the flour and dry ingredients together there. Just gonna eye it.
Sometimes we just need to be more flexible with certain recipes. Here I had the baby with me and I wasn't able to do it exactly step by step as indicated in the recipe, but honestly it didn't matter. That's one of the best parts about having kids in the kitchen. Nothing has to be perfect. Enjoying the process is just as important as the final results.
Chocolate chips. That's all I have left.
Trying to mix this cookie dough with this spatula looks somewhat comedic. Nevertheless, with just a bit of elbow grease, it gets the job done.
I'm gonna pop this in the fridge for a couple of hours and I will bake it in about an hour or 2.
I want these to be chunky chocolate chip cookies, so I'm not forming them in perfect balls, but rather I'm trying to make them very high. That way, when they go to bake, they'll be ooey and gooey in the center and nice and thick. This is how I like my cookies best, but you know what your family likes best, so you can do them how you please.
I don't think I can fit more than that on the tray. I think they'll spread out too much. So I'm gonna stop there. I have half the dough left. I'll probably make another batch later or tomorrow. Ready to go in? Girls, how are the popsicles?
Good. Good.
Do you like your popsicle?
Yeah.
It's the next day and I want to try out some of these treats that I made. So first we're going to try the oatmeal bars. So oatmeal, chocolate, Rice Krispies. They look really good. Let's try these.
The bottom layer was chewy, the middle layer was crunchy and salty, and the top layer was nice and sweet.
My kids have already dug into them. These are really good. Next up, the Rice Krispie squares that have already been dug into. I just cut them up into little squares. I didn't want them to be too large since, you know, my kids are having them.
Why can't I have one? Why can't I have one? This one.
These were chewy and sweet and slightly caramelized. And finally, the chocolate chip cookies were delicious. The brown butter just adds this depth of flavor. And I added little chocolates on top just to, you know, make it extra chocolatey. These were my favorite.
Last thing to try is the Chia Seed Pudding that I actually don't have much left of because my daughters ate most of it. It's a lot thicker today. Let's try it. It's really good. Especially considering it's not really a dessert, so it's actually healthy for you.
And I like it